Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Song Swap Showdown, where we are featuring my interview that I recently had a chance to do with country music artist Maddye Trew. Maddye is a Memphis-born country singer who's a recent graduate of Belmont University in Nashville. Maddye just recently dropped a brand new single, Your Song, which is coming hot off the heels of Long Gone John, and the music video was actually featured on CMT.com. We get into all of that in this interview. Plus, we talk about Maddie's creative process, all the artists that she's played with, all the different songwriters and musicians that she's collaborated with, as well as the first record she ever bought. I put all of the links to Maddie's website and music in the show notes, so please make sure you check all those out. Now, without further delay, let's get into the interview with Maddye Trew. So first question I have for you today is, I just want to know when I can expect my special edition colored vinyl version of Your Songs with a B-side, by the way, because I saw the video and I want to know if I'm going to see a special edition colored vinyl edition with the B-side of Two Black Cadillacs on it. Hand numbered.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Is that coming?
Right?
Is it?
It should. Yeah, it should be coming. I love that song.
Yeah, I watched your Instagram video on that. I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Carrie Underwood is like a huge inspiration for me. I posted another video of her song yesterday because it was her birthday, and then I'm a total Care Bear.
That's awesome. And second too, because I'm located in New Jersey, so
Okay.
I want to know: are you coming to East Coast? You coming to New Jersey at all? Is there any plans to visit the East Coast here?
I would love to. Yes, I don't know. There's not any set plans now, but when I look like 10 years ahead, I will be traveling and touring and hopefully have a bus. So,
oh, there you go. Tour bus. So yeah. So any big tour plans coming up for at least this year? Like, are you staking in the area? Are you going out on anything or anything you can talk about?
I normally go to Florida. I don't have any set plans for the bus yet. Jim Brown takes me out sometimes to go and open up for him and Derek St. Holmes, and that's been really fun. Get the whole tour bus experience, and I've made some friends out in Florida. So I have been, dipping my toes over there. As far as this year goes, I'm focused on releases. I'm focused on songs, and just doing some stuff down here in Nashville, and then whatever Jeff throws my way. I just go where he tells me. Yeah.
Right. So wherever Jeff says. So who's Jeff real quick? Just frame that up for everybody listening.
So Jeff McMahon, he is my manager, mentor, friend, family, the best. I met him has it been 4 years maybe? I met him at a realtor function, and funny enough, so I thought he was a guitar player. Do you know Jeff's story?
I do know a little bit of Jeff's story, but I think you should share it for everybody here.
Okay, so I thought this man was a guitar player. Turns out he is a ACM nominated piano player for Tim McGraw.
Jeff does look like a guitarist, though. I can definitely see that. He does look like he can. He does look like he can shred.
I know. I just assumed. But no, I met him a few years ago, and I kept calling him. The next week, I had a website, and we were taking pictures. And now, he's stuck, and we're doing the thing. We're chasing the dream, and he's been very helpful and very blessed to have a mentor like him.
Yeah, having a mentor on your side, someone who could like really be there to help guide you and help answer questions. Somebody who's been there before that like you can ask the hard questions to, and like they can say, well, here's what happened to me, or here's an experience I had, and it's really important. I'm 100% with you on that. I think it's really important to have mentors. People can help guide you on that journey. So you got a couple singles out right now.
I do.
So let's talk about that, because listen, I want to give the people what they want. We want to talk about music. So let's talk some music here right now. And I love this, by the way, because I watched the video for Long Gone John. And I love that because I like the tongue twister in that too. Because I've been I told my wife about it and I kept screwing up the name. I'm like, wait a second, I had to say it slower. Slow down, Chris. Long Gone John. But I really like this video. Is great. I mean, if for everybody out there, like, Grease, like huge, I love the Grease influence on this. So talk a bit about that.
So we went with Grease. So growing up, I was a theater kid. And I always wanted to play Sandy. I always wanted to do Grease. But Long Gone John is about, a bunch of girls, supporting other girls when it comes to tough
Mhm.
situations with relationships they have with boys. And so we went with Grease because the Pink Ladies, I just feel like are a group of powerhouse women
Mhm.
that, even though Sandy and Rizzo don't like seem like they're going to be friends at the beginning,
Yeah.
they end up becoming friends, and like all of those girls just represent a strong woman and they're friends the whole time. So that's kind of where that stemmed from, and they each had their boyfriends and different problems. So it was really fun recreating that, and I had some artist friends here in Nashville join me for it, and it was a good time. We rented out this super cool retro house, made it look 50s, and had wine. Growing up, I didn't have boyfriends. I was always, at play practice or, going to voice lessons and
You're a
stuff. And so,
theater
I
kid, theater kid.
yeah, I just wasn't focused on it. And so
Right.
I had 5 best friends, and we would just all be at the lunch table, and, throughout life, everybody would date somebody, something would happen, and I would be the shoulder to cry on. And I enjoyed that. I love being a friend. I value being a friend. And so this was kind of a song to all my friends, but in a way, to say it that I know best, like through
Mhm.
singing and through music. It was really fun, and yeah, I'm excited to have a song out like that now because that's a big part of my story is being a friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really fun song, and the music video is even better because
Thank you.
I think it really brings it all together.
He's a long gone John. He does you wrong. Tells you that he loves you, then leaves you all alone. Girl, when you gonna see it? He's never gonna be it. He's just another short straw gone. He's long gone John. Woo!
So let's talk a little bit more about the song. So first of all, the video itself is already in rotation. It's on CMT, I believe, right?
Yes, yeah, so it was on CMT.com, which was super cool. That was my first time,
Mhm.
going through that. That was fun, and it has gotten a lot of spins, a lot of hype. It was my first music video.
Well
So
done. It looks like you've been
thank
doing it for
you.
a while. So
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, and, yeah, shout out to Randy Allen, the videographer who made it.
so this song right now,
Mhm.
so it's on CMT.com,
It's on
uh,
CMT.com.
and also on radio. Are we going to radio? Is this on radio?
We're going to radio.
All right.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yes, that is new news.
New
Um,
news. Breaking
New
news.
news. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes, too, do some radio tours and, reach different states
Mhm.
and other people and, just get their reaction because, I feel like right now I just, have Nashville and whoever comes across my path, Florida people, and so this will be fun, and I hope, it I hope it helps a lot of girls, going
Yeah.
through whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And now,
Yeah.
because this video's been out there, though, so it's been out. When was this released on CMT.com?
I wanna say, like, last year?
Okay.
The middle of last year?
All right.
Yeah.
And since then, have you been getting any good feedback? Like, what has been the response been so far?
I have. It's all about, the grease part
Right.
of it. Everybody loves
The
that, and
nostalgia, right?
yeah, yeah, and, it's fun because, my hometown friends, they knew how
Mhm.
big into theater I was, so they're, like, super excited about it, and, me being able to go back to that, part
Mhm.
of my story, playing Sandy, so, yeah, it's been getting a lot of hype.
All right. So you actually have a second song out there now, right?
I
So, and that's
do.
actually the song I heard first before I heard this one, which is your song. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that because that is the first song that I was actually exposed to the Maddye Trew universe through. So,
Oh, I
yeah.
love that. I love that. Yeah, so that was my latest single.
Mhm.
I wrote it with my friend Emma Rowley in college. Um, it it's about a guitar player I had a crush on because I was in the music school. I could not have a crush on a guitar player.
I mean,
you know.
guitar player.
Uh-huh. But unfortunately, it did not end well. It turned out he had been talking to me to get to my friend that he had a crush on. And so, yeah, so I called Emma up that day, because I'd already confided in her about it,
Mhm.
and she just told me to slow down on the phone because I was talking in lyrics. She was like, "We need to write a song right now." So I grabbed my guitar and we wrote it over the phone in like I think under an hour, and now it's here. My mom loves it so much she got the lyrics engraved on my guitar strap,
Ooh,
which is pretty
nice.
cool.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. I really like this song. All the musical aspects about it, with all the vocabulary in it. And yeah, it's been getting a lot of hype too. Fortunately, everybody likes it, and it is now streaming, guys. So if you want to hear it, it is your song.
Excellent. So what we'll do is we're going to listen to a little bit of that right now.
Well, it's funny how a song gets old so quick. But you were pretty good while the playback lasted. You're a one-hit wonder. 'Cause you did it all for show. And I can get the rhythm without you. I can sing like there's no one around to. All my own melodies, just a memory. An anthem I used to know. And boy, I ain't playing along. And I don't need your song. I don't need it. I don't need it.
So that was a little bit of your song by yours
Maddye
truly,
Trew.
Maddye Trew, who's here right now. So you said something really interesting right before we went into the song, which was Emma was telling you to slow down because you're talking in lyrics. Is that
Yeah.
something that happens a lot with you? Do you find yourself doing that a bit, like talking in lyrics? Is that a common thing?
Sometimes I get lost. Like if I'm
Mhm.
really passionate in my conversation and I don't know if you can see it or if you just sometimes it just turns into talking lyrics.
Right.
It rolls. It starts to make more sense and, become clearer that it's right there.
Yeah, I think that with creativity in general, like it's like one of those things like it just kind of finds a way, like
Yeah.
an idea finds a way of making its way out one way or the
Uh-huh.
other. And I just found that to be a very interesting statement where she's like, "Wait, you're talking in lyrics, like slow
Yeah.
down." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's actually that's really a good perception from her part to kind of get you to slow down enough and say, "Hey, this is some good creativity coming out of you. Now
Right.
let's make something cool with this."
Yeah, yeah. It was awesome, and being able to turn something that upset me into something so beautiful, and now as everybody else's, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, so you co-wrote the song with Emma.
Mhm.
Have you guys written a lot of music together? Have you guys been writing music together for years? Like, how has that process worked?
She was my very first co-write in Nashville.
Okay.
We've written since then. It's been a minute, but I just moved by her, so I'm sure I'll be seeing a lot more of her here lately. She is an artist herself,
Mhm.
and is in the pop world and is awesome. So y'all should definitely go check her out too. But yeah, we're friends. We stay in touch and yeah, support each other for sure.
And so Emma, and you mentioned Jeff, our friend Jeff McMahon. You've
Yes.
collaborated with. Well, who else have you collaborated with on certain songs?
Well, the producer of your song, his name is Mike Robinson.
Mhm.
He's gone on to do some things, nominated for a Grammy,
Oh, wow.
yeah, we were both in the music school together. And so Emma was at Belmont too. So it's kind of
Okay.
cool, we're all graduated and out in the world and, just seeing each other,
Right.
come so far from taking those classes.
So is Belmont sort of like the epicenter there of everybody kind of coming together?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Belmont's a big part. And then if you saw in the Long Gone John video, there was a Belmont University flag because
I
they
did
had
see
the
that.
Rydell High flag.
Yep.
So I did a shout out to Belmont.
I guess if you were to describe your process, I mean, are you like I get an idea in the middle of the night and I got to record on voice notes? Or are you like, hey, I'm like driving a car or taking a shower type and like ideas? Like, what does your process look like for you? Like, because I see everybody always has their thing,
Yeah.
So what is like your thing or your go-to method?
I think it's at night.
Yeah,
Like I
night.
have woken up and recorded a voice memo or, after I'm done with work that day or jumping into music and thinking about something or whatever, I'll just
Mhm.
I'll let it come to me or, choose a time to be creative and create something if I'm really excited about a project.
Mhm.
Been co-writing a lot. scheduling all
Right.
that and trying to come up with different ideas like every week or so. But normally I start out with lyrics.
Right. I was just
And
going to ask you, is
then
it a lyric? Is it a
it's a
guitar lick?
lyric.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lyric. And then I am friends with so many talented guitar players and I'm a
Right.
guitar player myself. So I'll pick up the guitar, but I have my people that I go to as well that help me with melodies and then I have recently jumped into the production side. I really like
Cool.
co-producing my songs now and I'm able to, get out some ideas that way, which is really fun. Like, hey, let's add a fiddle here after the second verse on the fourth bar, whatever.
Yeah.
Like just getting creative and seeing the whole painting.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's been fun. I've definitely within the past year I've tapped in to more creativity
Yeah.
arts.
A little birdie told me recently that you had a chance to do some interviews, by the way. Speaking of producing and
did.
kind of getting involved. Yeah. So talk a little bit about that because I heard you went somewhere and so I want to hear, let me hear about that experience.
We went somewhere. So we just went to country radio seminar, me and Jeff, for his podcast, McMahon on Keys.
Mhm.
And we spent 3 days there in the media room,
Mhm.
doing back-to-back interviews, 15-minute interviews with artists. And he took me on as the co-host, which was really fun. That's one of my first
Awesome.
times doing that. Yeah. And for me, it's easy to talk to
Right.
other artists about, something I'm passionate about
Of
or what they're
course.
going to do. And so, being able to tap into that host side was a little easier than I thought. And it was, I knew it was going to be fun, but it definitely, took the cake. And we talked to some great artists. One was T. Graham Brown, who recently got inducted into the Opry.
Wow.
And yeah,
That's exciting.
yeah, but it was also cool because, like, that's him. He just got inducted to the Opry,
Yeah.
but
There he is. He's right there.
he's right there, but I was able to connect with him over Muscle Shoals
Mhm.
and over people over the Swampers back there and, people he knew because at the end of the day, Nashville's kind of a small town too, and
Right.
its own right. So, that was cool. And then we talked to Connor Smith, who's out with Riley Green. We bonded over baseball because I was a baseball sister and he
Nice.
played at the same place my brother played. And yeah, it was really fun. And then the Swan brothers were also a good one because we got to talk about, how Carrie Underwood helps them and,
Yeah. Exactly.
Care Bear.
Care Bear.
Yeah. So it was a good time. And, I'm really grateful Jeff brought me along to do that. And I'm excited to get those interviews rolling out and, for everybody to hear them and, shed a light on those artists. It was fun. It was
Nice.
fun.
So can we expect a Maddye Trew podcast in the future?
You know what? I would love that. I would love to. So Carrie does Carrie's Country now
Yeah.
on, is it Sirius XM or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's on Sirius XM.
I could see that being on the bucket list, to do list when I'm
Yeah, I could totally see you doing that.
Yeah.
I could totally see you interviewing artists, getting their stories, doing the whole thing, talking production, because I feel like that's the thing too, is like what that would make it for me, somebody like as another creator, like what makes it interesting is going that much deeper into those things and kind of nerding out a little bit,
Yeah. I was able to, dig deeper and like, being an artist, be able to be like, what's your sound? Like, how did you find it? Or,
Yeah.
just different stuff that not
Right.
a lot of people get to hear. So the interviews are going to be great. They're really fun topics and the artists did great.
So I got a question for you. And this may be a cliche question, but I do find it interesting because everybody has an origin story in that sense, like what is the spark, right? What got you down the path? I mean, for me, I share the story all the time. Like my love of filmmaking and wanting to be a filmmaker
Right.
started when I was a kid and I saw Star Wars for the first time in 1977. But
Nice.
but that always stuck with me, right? And so that was, to me, I go, when did you figure out I wanted to be a filmmaker or do that? Like, I wouldn't say I exactly figured it out then, but I feel like that kind of lit something inside me, even at that young age, to like
Right.
start going that path. For you, I'd love to hear that story.
Yeah.
When did music become something that like you felt like, wow, this is a
Right.
path I want to go down or like investigate or be part of? Like, when did that passion you feel like, when did the spark light for you?
Right. So when I was a kid, my Nana was, heavily involved in church. And so
Hmm.
she put me in the, church choir and the plays or the, Easter Christmas plays for the church.
Yeah.
Um, but then our show was American Idol. So I would go over to her house and we'd watch it together. And it wasn't until she took me to my first concert, which was the American Idol concert with Ruben Studdard and Clay Aiken.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
I remember that season too.
And yeah, and I left. It was at FedEx Forum in downtown Memphis, which is a huge, huge stadium. And I remember leaving so jealous. That was the first time I left a concert with that feeling in my gut
Mhm.
of like, oh man, I want to do that so bad. And I was already like into country music, listening
Right.
to it in the car. I had to hop in the car until mom had the Shania Twain CD, the Come On Over CD. And so
Right.
she told me that when I was a kid, I would be like, play number 4, which was, I think You're Still the One or something. I knew
Right.
what I knew the track
Yeah.
list, but I just called them by numbers. But yeah, I was already country influenced, and my Nana really pushed me to chase my dreams. And she passed away when I was in 8th grade, and unfortunately, and I wasn't at the age to audition for American Idol. But her daughter called me one day and she was like, when I turned 15, I was
Right.
able to. She was like, they're here. Why don't you just come stay up here and go do it? And so then I turned that into, a fun trip with my mom and me going to honor her. And I went and
Right.
did the whole American Idol thing, which also pushed my confidence up more because it worked. And then
Yeah.
now in Nashville. And so, I feel like with my story, everything I did just was telling me to keep going. And
Yeah.
I kept loving it. And now we're here.
It's amazing, right? When you look back at it,
Uh-huh.
what was the thing that set it in motion? And
Yeah.
so I appreciate you sharing that story because I think it's great because I really do. I think everybody's got that story. And when you really
Yeah.
trace it back, you're like, wow, that's kind of where it all began. And
Where
you
it all
do,
began.
you remember those things,
Yeah. Ruben Studdard, Clay Aiken.
There it is.
Uh-huh.
So what do you love most about being a professional musician?
Oh my gosh.
What do you love most about that?
Oh, I I love being on stage.
Mm.
I love when I'm playing with a full band and I am like, it's just such a high.
You're
It's
locked in. You're locked in.
yeah, I'm locked in. Like it's just this feeling you get, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And to me, like that's home. That's where I'm the most comfortable, and that's where I have the most room to like. I don't know. I feel more myself. I feel
Yeah.
free, and I just don't have any worries on stage. That's my favorite part. I just want to sing.
Yeah.
Just
It's
want
like
to sing.
it's like a pinch yourself moment. Like, wait a second, I can't believe I'm
Yeah.
doing this now. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting the opportunity to do this. It
Yeah.
really is magical, right?
It is magical, and the opportunities that have come with it, like American Idol and being flown out to Hollywood, and getting to be on a tour bus, which is really fun. And then it just makes you want to do it even more, and then more perks come, and it's like, gosh, just put me up there. I'm ready.
What are there any other genres of music that you like that you would say influence your music? Like, do you pull from other genres other than country? Like, do you hear something from, and I'm just making this up, but you hear like
Yeah.
some like metal song or hard rock or punk, I don't know, like,
Right.
or classic rock or something? Or do you pull from other things and integrate those into like your songwriting?
You know what? No, I'm fully country now. I do. I like country pop. I listen to pop music. And if I'm trying to find a reference track for my producer,
Yeah.
and hear a pop sound come
Right.
from a record I like, I may mention it to him. But there's 2 songs I have out now that are more traditional country driven,
Mhm.
and then 2 that are pop country. So I'm kind of like just swimming around country right now, seeing
Yeah.
what it is that I want to capture. within country music when it comes to my sound.
Mhm.
You know, what's the Maddie Trew sound?
The Maddye Trew sound.
The Maddie Trew sound. Yeah. So, yeah, I'd say pop, if anything. You know, I have thought about doing projects. I'm from Memphis, you
Mhm.
know.
Stax
I
Records.
Yeah, Stax Records. I didn't necessarily go downtown much to listen to the blues, but I would like to, you know, someday make a track with a little Memphis touch on it.
Ooh,
know?
I'd be interested in hearing that. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that'd
Yeah.
be really wild. I'd love to hear that.
Country blues. Yeah.
There you go. Something on the list.
Yeah.
So, what's currently on your playlist? What are you spinning other than your music?
Other than my music,
Other than your tunes, what's currently what's jamming for you?
oh man, Carrie Underwood. I
Karen.
know. Carrie Underwood. I'm on her new Denim and Rhinestones album.
Mhm.
I'm spinning that, and then really into the Palomino album from Miranda Lambert. I
Okay.
really love that. Yeah.
So anything that you've recently discovered, anything new that you'd like to recommend to anybody? Like, oh my God, I heard this artist, or I played with this person, or whatever. Like anybody out there that's really like you're like obsessed with or could
I'm
recommend?
obsessed with. I could recommend. You know what? Let's bring it back around.
All right.
I'm gonna shout out and tell y'all to listen to my friends in the music video who are artists, and I'm a huge fan of them too. You had Laura Ashley, Julielle, Caroline Kidd, Lauren Brocas. But yeah, I've been spinning them. Laura just came out with a new song called Ozarks, and Caroline Kidd
Mhm.
has got some new stuff. So I definitely go check out them because they're just awesome. Yeah.
So one last question for you.
Okay.
Actually maybe two. Maybe
All
two
right.
more. Okay.
Bring it.
So last question is, what's the first record or first piece of music you purchased with your own money?
I think it was Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
I think it was a Carrie Underwood CD.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Which one?
What was it? Is it Some Hearts? Was that her first CD? Was that the title track?
Think so. All right. So before we wrap it up, I mean, listen, this has been great, and I've appreciated you to being part of everything today. Thanks for answering my questions and for just being so awesome, and really
Absolutely.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank
So
you.
what about Maddye Trew should everybody know?
Oh man, I'm coming. I'm coming. I am ready to be your friend, and I have got so many songs to sing. I'm not done. I've started, but I'm just getting started, and I'm coming for you.
Coming for you. There you go.
Yeah.
You've been warned.
You've been warned.
Yeah, this has absolutely been fascinating, though, and I really appreciate you, Maddie. Thanks for making the time today and coming on and for talking with us and talking with everybody here today. So this has been awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Chris. It's fun.
Absolutely, thank you, and make sure everybody checks out Maddye Trew's two. We got two songs to check out. We got your song and we got Long Gone John. So make sure you check it out. Watch that a lot on YouTube. Let's go. Watch it. Share it. Let's go. Do all the things. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again. And thanks, Maddie. Bye-bye. To get notified every single time we drop a new episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown, just hit that follow button wherever you get your podcasts. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, please use the email address in our show notes and we'll get right back to you. And last but not least, please feel free to follow us over on our social accounts on Instagram and TikTok at Song Swap Showdown, or join our ever-growing community in our Facebook group by using the link in our show notes. Thanks for listening.